dementia or epilepsy, it's 4.46, but as Dr. Hurdy's mentioned, these patients require a lot of resources and mortality is very high. We did not look at mortality, so although the prevalence and incidence is lower than for some of the other conditions, the care intensity is very, very high. So it's very important to keep that in mind. The average annual incidence, these are listed by continent. Not that much difference between continent, but it's about 1.83, which doesn't sound like a lot of people, but again, a very high intensity of care and high mortality. There were only 2 Canadian studies, and one did not look at ALS specifically. They looked at motor neuron disease, which can include other types of ALS-like condition. There was only one study of ALS in Nova Scotia. You can see the estimate at the bottom, and so we really need more research for this condition. For muscular dystrophy, it was also challenging because, as you can see on this slide now, there are different types of muscular dystrophy. I highlighted 2 of the most common, the myotonic dystrophy, more common in adults, and at the bottom, the Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which in boys can be up to 12.6%, so 12.6 per 100,000 people rather, so very common in terms of the muscular dystrophies. And this next slide just shows various studies that looked at the prevalence of Duchenne muscular dystrophy. If we look at all age groups, and of course these would be younger overall ages, it is of course much higher, the prevalence in children, than it is if we include all age group, because many of these patients do not live to be very old. If we look at myotonic dystrophy, the prevalence is much higher in adults and lower in children because it is a condition where they live much longer and